So we're going to calculate the surface area of this rectangular pyramid, and we're going to do it in 3 steps. The first step being that we need to find the slant height. So if you notice, it gives us the height of the pyramid from the apex down to the base. What we need to know is the slant height. And we're going to find the slant height using Pythagorean's theorem. The second thing we need to find is the surface area of each triangular face. So each triangular face is the surface area of that. And thirdly, we're going to then find the surface area of the base, which is simply what's resting on the ground or the table. So to find the slant height, we need to use Pythagorean's theorem, and that is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now if we look, we're going to use this triangle, and we're going to call the height A, the base side B, and then the slant height will be our C. So according to our diagram, A is 4.5 meters. So 4.5 squared plus B, which is, we see that our side of the base is 3.5 meters, but that isn't the length of B. From the diagram you can see that B is half the length of 3.5. So half of 3.5 is 1.75 squared, and that will equal c squared. So 4.5 squared, we're going to round to the nearest tenth, so it's 20.3 plus 1.75 squared is 3.1, and that will equal c squared. So now we have 23.4 equals c squared. What we'll do is find the square root of 23.4, and that will give us c. So rounding to the nearest tenth, we get c equals 4.8, and that will be meters. So now we know the slant height to be 4.8 meters. So we've done the first step. Can give it a check mark. Moving on to the second step, where we have to find the surface area of each triangular face. So let's start by writing the formula of the surface area of a pyramid just up and out of the way so we can see it. So surface area equals 4a plus b. A being the surface area of a triangular face, and b being the surface area of the base. So one thing to remember about a rectangular pyramid is that the 4 triangular faces are not going to be congruent. 2 will be congruent, and another 2 will also be congruent. So essentially, instead of having 4 same or congruent triangular faces, we'll have 2 sets of 2 congruent faces. So the first triangular face we're going to calculate is the one right here that is highlighted in red. So we have a base of 3.5 meters and a height of 4.8. So that's that new slant height that we just calculated. So when we are calculating the surface area of a triangular face, we are going to use the surface area for a triangle, which is 1/2 BH. So A equals 1/2 base, which is 3.5 times our height, which was 4.8, And now we have a surface area of 8.4 meters squared. So we just calculated that the surface area of this triangular face is 8.4 meters squared. Now you have to remember that there is an identical triangular face on the opposite side of this one, so actually we calculated two triangular faces with one calculation. So if we go back to our surface area of a rectangular pyramid formula, we have to figure out four triangular faces. We've just figured out two of them, so we got two more to go in order to make our four. Okay, so we'll use a different color. What we want to do now is figure out the surface area of the other triangular face. So we're going to use the same formula. Area equals 1/2 base times height. So area equals 1/2. Our base is now 2 times our height is still 4.8. And that leaves us with an area of 4.8 meters squared. So now, same thing, we have just calculated the surface area of this triangular face, and since it's a rectangular pyramid, it has a congruent opposite side, so we have actually calculated this triangular face as well. So let's punch that into our formula. So now we have four triangular faces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we just have to add our base. Okay, so the only thing that's left is to find the surface area of the base, and the surface area of a rectangle is just length times width, so our surface area is 3.5 meters times 2 meters, and therefore our surface area is 7 meters squared. So the base is 7 meters squared, so we'll just add that to our formula. Now we just simply add up all of the faces and we'll get a total surface area. So our total surface area is 33.4 meters squared. So a little bit of work was needed to figure this out, but if we break it up into steps, it ends up being fairly simple.